Hello, everyone. My name is Tatiana, and my colleagues are Camila, Sara, Mariangel, and Susana. And we are going to present the analysis of the text. At the beginning, I want to make an introduction of the text. Basically, it's about the economic in Colombia, since inflation has increased the food and energy price. Several countries have been affected by this increase. The text also tells us that employment, instead of decreasing, continues to grow more every day. Now, if we start, register 1. File Economic. The text of the OCDE from Colombia is about economic because we can see terms like GDP, graphics about inflation. In addition, the text contains information about price of products and services, unemployment in Colombia. 2. Tenor. Economics, majors, public workers, accountants. The text contains terms that could be understood, but this type of people not all can understand the text exactly because of its terminology. For example, GDP is projected to grow by 6.1% in 2022 and 2.1% in 2023. Private consumption is the main driver of the recovery, driven by a gradual pickup of employment. Here, here we have numbers and terminology that not all people can understand, except if someone wants to learn or get this type of information. And 3, mode is a test. If you can see, it's a test.
With the specialized text conditions, we have cognitive condition, grammatical condition, and pragmatic condition. In the cognitive condition, we have specialized and general knowledge. The text is about the economy in Colombia, and if someone wants to read it, it is possible to understand it completely. For the grammatical condition, this text uses specific lexical units on of economic, inflation trends, unemployment, market rates, among others. Terms like GDP, of course, domestic demand, consumer price index, core inflation index, those are examples of the specific terminology. And finally, for a pragmatic condition, it is a specialized process but also an appreciated process. As for an expert in economics, it can be useful for a student or someone who wants to encourage his knowledge about it. This text helped in its process, and that's, for example, our case. We are analyzing text even if we are not experts in economics and we are not studying this specific topic.
Now, speaking of the dimensions of language variations, we can find that in the diaphasic dimension, we can locate the text as a formal text because it uses a language with high levels of writing due to the intention in which the information is communicated. Then, on the sociocultural levels and to whom the text is addressed, we can say that in the diastractic dimension, we refer to professionals of economics and politics and people who learn or read the text specifically about the economics in Colombia. This is clearly include women and men. Now about the dialects and geographical origin of the text. In the diatopic dimension, we don't find any type of dialect, but it is easy to get for the people from Colombia.
Continuing on the dimension of language variation, we have diachronic. As we analyze the text, we could notice that there were no obsolete terms or old-fashioned expressions. Current and normal words are used as we see every day in normal texts. Then we have systematic features. On textual level, we can see that graphics and a table are there. It is simply structured with titles and subtitles as usual. We can notice that these graphics and a table are on the first page and second page. Also, we have the syntactic level, where complex phrases and short sentences are seen. This text can be understood by economists, politics, and also general people, but maybe these people would have to look for some words, technical words that they can be difficult in the process of understanding the text. We have an example from the text, such as fiscal policy have moved from unprecedented support to a gradual consolidation as the recovery gained pace. Or another sentence, like steps to reduce trade barriers and strengthen competition could facilitate necessary reallocation processes and bolster productivity.
In the lexical part in this text, there are some abbreviations or technical terms as, for example, GDP, Gross Domestic Product, OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, DANE, Departamento Administrativo Nacional de Estadísticas, BRC, British Retail Consortium. With this, it's possible to understand some terms, but if you don't know them, you must search what's the meaning to get the text. In the semantic part, in the text, sometimes it has a complex meaning in some paragraphs or phrases. We can see this, for example. Annual inflation has reached 9.2% and is weighing on consumer spending, especially for low-income households, as food prices have risen by 26% year on year. And finally, the morphological part. In this text, we have a tendency to nominalization with some verbs. An example of this is rising commodity prices are supporting exports and public revenues.
As a whole, the OECD test is a specialized translation to do. It has got technical terminology and it is directed to people with higher education. Anyways, apprentices also can understand it, but with the task of looking for unknown or complex words.